Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's introduction of CloudWords, an app focused on helping you solve your day-to-day learning needs or simply to inform your curiosity. My name is Mario Baron Aguilar, and I will be your presenter today. So, who is our user persona? Hugo is a 22-year-old who recently graduated from business school. He came to the US like many others have at the young age of 2, and he was immersed in a Spanish learning environment until the age of 13. This can sometimes complicate his understanding of unspoken rules and conversations at the workplace. He wants to become more informed in his learning and the content he consumes for work or just out of pure enjoyment or interest. He also wants to become better at articulating himself as a church teacher. So what's some context for this? Our target market has some essential tasks they must be able to easily complete on this app. We must build something easy to use, quick, and efficient in learning, as life for our user, Hugo, is very busy and full of noise as it already is. Our target markets are students or people not consolidated in their workplace or looking for new careers or transitions. This app will be tailored to help people in their roles and learning and expanding the knowledge of their interests. What is the problem for our user Hugo? In the past, he has dealt with self-esteem and morale issues due to not being able to understand certain words or conversations, making it that much more difficult to be visible at work. When he cannot pronounce words or doesn't know a word in English, it is a moment that will affect his confidence no matter the scenario. So what are some struggles and pain points for our user Hugo? He is currently dealing with things that cause him to have a lot of tension and weight in his day-to-day tasks at his current job. And if that can be alleviated, he will be able to take on more work, collaborate easier with coworkers, and just overall become more self-confident. So what should we include in the solution for our user? We will be focused on providing Hugo with, and many other users like him, with the following to help him in work, personal, or school situations. Up next, our app. Introducing our CloudWords app. With machine learning and intentional design to facilitate healthy learning behaviors, we will become a top-rated and used app across the nation. We aim to help create a community of learners through this app in a tailored and interesting way. What is the work at hand? So these are some of the essential tasks that we decided to test during usability testing. We want the users to be able to do these things with no difficulty in our mobile app and be delighted by the experience. We have broken up the learning to be easy to use and engaging when building study decks or simply reviewing / sharing them with friends or coworkers. So this was one of the very first prototypes with Sharpie and paper, as you can see. An idea was starting to be built, but it still had many gaps of information that I myself was finding it hard to fill in until users were giving me feedback. So this is the second example. So in learning mode, that had to be more organized. There had to be the navigation had to become more intuitive, kind of like breaking down the learning in a delightful way for our user Hugo. Up next, some of the feedback we received. So we had a great deal of feedback from usability tests, which included other things apart from the things listed above, such as longer study sessions and being considerate of the time it required, as well as measuring the efficiency in future tests. It could even become a longitudinal study of how well users are learning, making the prototype scrollable and more interactive naturally, and simplifying the screens to essential information for each. And having a way that does not require users to recall their passwords, yet protecting their privacy. So this could be something such as Touch ID, Face ID, or simply allowing the app to remember your password. Furthermore, some things that we discovered was to indicate to our users, Hugo, after completion of a word or a review, that they had achieved something and reinforce them positively. So this is what our new prototype looked like so far after usability testing. We were thinking of the different users, the ones who enjoy exploring right away and the ones that enjoy filling out preferences first and just being guided through onboarding. Just as Steve Kurg explains in his book, with the two types of shoppers and their behaviors online or in brick and mortar stores. So this is a continuation of the new prototype. Here, we could add the capacity to switch from one language to another, as many of our users know two languages or are educated and potentially know more than one or two languages. And having the ability to process this information in another known language could help the information stick with them for long-term memory purposes. It is crucial that Hugo sees and feels his progress and can interact with the CloudWords app instead of simply repeating or reading things from a screen. We want them to enjoy the learning experiences and be able to tailor it to their own definitions and to how they view the world from their point of view. So what are the next steps? Some things we think that will be absolutely essential to continue to build a robust app is to find more ways to improve the user experience. And then just make sure the user interface feels right. After this review and the feedback from new usability tests, we would go on to create a more interactive design, a high fidelity. So what are some of our key learnings? I made a pros and cons list of this project, and it helped me see the value of the user interviews, the competitive analysis, and really being user-centric in my thinking. It helped me see the value of good research and why usability tests need to be done frequently, because it can really determine the demise or rise of your app or product. I will use my knowledge to improve the experience of the prototype based on feedback and work on the user interface by selecting the mood board for the application. I think I did a good job in taking feedback positively and working with different participants during interviews. I enjoyed 1.6 and 1.2 the most, which dealt directly with working with users. I am extroverted, so by nature, I was recharged and motivated to push through this work and obstacles for them. I enjoy relationship building by learning about others and their experiences. I definitely had a hard time with 1.4, and that made me not enjoy it as much because it challenged the way in which I learn and execute my work. That being said, that does not mean I would stay away from information architecture or be objected to doing that work in the design field, as I think I have a great amount of space left to grow in that area. Lastly, thank you all for coming to today's presentation.